Am I filming 2 videos in one sitting? Yes. Yes, I am. But as I said before, you gotta do what you gotta do. Huh, baby girl? Huh, Squeaks? Hi, Squeaks. Yeah. Okay. She's fine. Keeping an eye on the baby, but let's get down to the video. Today, we are going to talk about... Oh, no! Nasty little baby. Nasty little baby. You're spitting up. These jammies are gonna have to go in the dirty clothes now. Yes, they are. Yeah. We are gonna talk about at this point, I don't know if it's still as controversial, but kind of a controversial game, Cyberpunk 2077. We're gonna give my full impression of it. So, as we all know with full impressions, we're just gonna go straight into thoughts and opinions, because I'll link up here. I have my first impressions of Cyberpunk, so if you want to, hear about gameplay, the story, and all that, you can go ahead and check out that video, and then come back to this video if you would like. But let's just get talking about it. So Cyberpunk. Were there a lot of glitches and everything, and, some game crashing stuff when it first came out? Yes. Did we experience that? Yes. Yes, we did. I would like to put in the disclaimer of, we play it because I have a regular PS4, and my husband has a PS4 Pro. We played it on his PS4 Pro. So that is the platform that we played it on. Honestly, those game crashes and glitches and everything did not make the game unplayable, at least for us. We still, I'm talking like it's communism, we still very much enjoyed our time with the game. Now, do I wish the NPCs were full of more life, and that the fact that, if you choose Nomad versus Street Kid and everything versus Corpo had more impact on the game? Yes, I do. And the thing is, CD Projekt Red wanted to have all that stuff that they promised. It's not their fault, because what happened is there were higher-ups, I believe it was publishers. Hi, Smiles. It was publishers who said, hey, we're gonna call this game, you finished it, and you're gonna release it, whether it's ready or not. So, there was nothing really CD Projekt Red could do. So they had to release this game that they weren't ready to release, and they hadn't fully polished. Which, it definitely hurt it, obviously, because people, were expecting a lot from this game, because they were expecting basically the next GTA, like a futuristic GTA. And that's what we all wanted and were hoping for. And I honestly feel like, if they keep patching the game and everything, they definitely can make it to that point. But even before all these patches and everything came, honestly, I still really enjoyed the game. It had a good story, it had an interesting story, the environments and everything, it looked good, and it was an interesting city to explore. Yes, it definitely, kind of hurt in the fact that it was so interesting to explore, and there were such interesting people, but, there wasn't really much going on with these NPCs and everything, and there wasn't as much to explore as we were hoping, because, the environments were set up for it and everything, and you could tell they were, and even the fact that, I'm sure they wanted to do more and make more differences between if you chose Nomad versus Corpo versus Street Kid. But sadly, they just didn't have the time to implement that. And yes, of course, I'm just going to judge the game off of, obviously, what is actually there, not what was intended to be there, because what was intended to be there, I don't know how it all would have worked out, because obviously it's not there, so I can't make a judgment on that. But, have to take with a grain of salt that those things were, intended to be implemented. It's not like they just did all that and, weren't trying to build it up to anything. That's not the case. They were trying to build it up to something. And, honestly, for the characters, more main story characters that you can interact with, I really like them and think they are interesting and memorable. And, they probably would have been, the NPCs, some of them are memorable in their own way of just people wearing some interesting things. They just walk out in their underwear, and that's, if you live in Portland, where I'm from, you know, that is a normal everyday occurrence, but for most people, that's probably not. So, you know, it makes it interesting. But honestly, and like, so we're gonna get into a little spoiler. The ending of the game, I feel, did have such a big impact. Like, this whole, you know, you have to sit there and choose. You've got your character that you're getting to know and is kind of even just a self-insert, and then you have Johnny, who you were getting to know. And yeah, Johnny, he started out as a bit of an asshole at first, because that's just who he is, and, you know, the situation you're put in, I don't know how you probably react the same way. But you get to know him as a person, and you go in flashbacks, and you see, you know, some of his life before he died and everything. So then you're left with the choice of, who do you let live? And even at the end, if you're choosing to let Johnny live, he legitimately, at first, of course, he was like, no, I'm taking over this body. But then he legitimately is trying to stop you and everything. He's like, no, I want you to live. Like, he has character growth and development because he's sitting there going against what he was trying to do the whole game of like, oh, I want to live. By the end of the game, though, he's like, no, V, I want you to live. Let me go. I've had my time. You need to live your life. And honestly, then, you know, that really does hit, like the end song and everything. And then if you choose to romance anybody, my husband, he got done dirty because the girl, I can't remember her name. I feel bad, but because he chose to romance the female option, because you have when you're the female, you can romance, you know, one girl or one guy, and he chose the girl because he likes girls, but he wanted to play as a girl, so he just romanced the female. Anyway, he couldn't romance the girl he wanted to, though, because she was straight, so he had to go with the other option. But, you know, it is what it is. She's not a terrible character, but of course, he, you know, got the one who, in their ending, like, they end up basically splitting up. So he was like mad about that because he was like, what the heck? I can't even keep my girlfriend at the end of the game. That's some BS. Like, I felt bad for him because he got his girlfriend and couldn't even keep her at the end because she just ends up like splitting up with you. But you see that bit of your, you know, at least if you choose V, you see that bit of life that happens if you choose to let V live instead of Johnny. And for us, it really did impact. Like, I mean, of course, we weren't sitting there bawling our eyes out, but still, those end choices and everything, and just seeing all that, it did leave an impact. Like, I felt something for these characters, you know? And because you just get to know them, and you can't just fully even base, like, okay, how are the characters and everything based on, you know, how the game plays and some glitches, because admittedly the driving has gotten a little more fixed, because I'm actually streaming it on my Twitch. You can go ahead, my Twitch is linked down below. I stream that on Wednesdays for Open World Wednesdays. But like, since going back and playing it, the driving does seem like it's been fixed a little. It's not near as janky as bad. I mean, it's not great, but then again, I'm terrible at driving in video games. Like, side note, Mario Kart's like the only driving kind of thing I'm good at in video games. I don't know why, but I'm like pro at Mario Kart and suck at driving in any other game. Side rant over. But, you know, there's been those kinds of fixes and everything. And I do honestly think that once a lot of these glitches and annoying things like game crashes and everything are fixed, I do feel the game will become much more top tier. Like, the groundwork is laid there. As it sits right now, I would honestly say the game is probably I hate to kind of do it, but I really do have to go off, you know, a lot of the expectations that were built and how the world actually is, and, you know, some of the gameplay and everything. It is right now, I would say, probably a 6 out of 10. But I feel like once the game is updated and all that can be fixed, I honestly would say it would be a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. So, there you have it. My probably slightly controversial, because I guess Cyberpunk is still kind of controversial even a year later, opinion, full impression on Cyberpunk 2077. So anyway, go ahead and leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. You don't have to, but it helps to let me know what y'all are enjoying watching. If you want to see more videos like this, I upload my review videos every Monday and Friday, and then Sunday and Wednesday are gameplay videos. Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, vlog channel, all that is linked down below. You can also hit the subscribe button to this channel if you want to see the videos, but you know, you don't have to remember the schedule. I mean, that always works too. It's always a good option. But that is going to be it for today's video, and I will see you all next time. Bye!